Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Ryan Awesome, and welcome to the Ryan Awesome Show. Now, before we get into the show, first off, man, if you haven't done this already, man, what are you waiting for, man? Hit the thumbs up. Hit the thumbs up, and if you're new here, hit that subscribe button. And right next to that subscribe button, there's a bell. Make sure you click on that bell so you're the first ones to know when my next video will come out because I'm here each and every single week. So make sure you hit the thumbs up if you haven't already. Hit the thumbs up. And if you're new here, hit the subscribe button. And then next to that subscribe button, there's a bell. You click on that bell. And when you click on that bell, you'll be the first ones to know when my next video is uploaded. And one last thing, don't forget to be awesome. So yeah, don't forget to be awesome. And yeah, man, sit back, chillax, grab something to eat, grab something to drink because you're watching the Ryan Awesome Show. And once again, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Ryan Awesome Show. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Ryan Awesome, and welcome to the Ryan Awesome Show. Now, today on the Ryan Awesome Show, we'll be talking about Impact Wrestling for October the 7th, 2021. And also, man, this is the AEW Rampage review for October the 8th. So videos going to be mashed up together. And, you know, because last night, I usually do my recordings, the reviews for the shows after the show is over. And, you know, the videos will be uploaded the very next day in the morning time, in the afternoon. But, yeah, man, but I watched Impact, man. I was so tired yesterday, man. I was so freaking tired. Like I was tired. I was tired from work, and you know I couldn't watch Impact. I mean I watched it, but it was so hard. It was so hard to stay awake. It was so hard to stay awake. Like every single time I kept dozing off. I kept saying stay up, stay up, stay up. And once Impact was over, I was so tired. I was really tired. I was about to go to sleep. I was like, man, I'm about to take a nap. I'm about to go to sleep. Like at first I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just take a nap and I'm gonna wake up at 9:30. And so I set my alarm at 9:30. I was like, time to get up, time to do your review. And I was like, man, you know what? I'm tired. I'm tired. I'm about to go to sleep and I'm gonna do this stuff tomorrow. And so yeah, man. So yeah, here I am. Here I am today, doing this in the morning time. So yeah, man. Impact Wrestling, man. Tonight's show, not tonight's show, but last night's show, it was decent. It was fine. Nothing new. The same old, same old. You know, them building up Bound for Glory, the Bound for Glory, and them building up Knockdown. That's on Saturday. So yeah, that's all they did. But yeah, great matches on the show. But yeah, the show was fine. It was fine for what it was. But yeah, man. So yeah, so this is the Impact Wrestling review for October the 7th, 2021 on The Ryan Awesome Show. And I say this all the time in the intro, man. If you haven't done this already, man, hit the thumbs up. Hit the thumbs up. And if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. And then right next to that subscribe button, there's a bell. Make sure you click on that bell so you're the first ones to know when my next video is uploaded because I'm here every single week, man. Wednesdays for AEW Dynamite. Thursdays for Impact Wrestling, of course. Fridays for AEW Rampage. And Saturdays and Sundays are for WWE pay-per-views, AEW pay-per-views, and Impact Wrestling pay-per-views. So yeah, man. And once again, guys, this will be a mashed up video. So I'm doing the Impact Wrestling review and the AEW Dynamite or the AEW Rampage review for tonight. So it's gonna be all in one video. So I'm recording this before AEW Rampage. So by the time you see this video, AEW Rampage already happened. So yeah, man. So right now this is the Impact Wrestling review. And yeah, man, we started off Impact Wrestling with a 6-man tag team match. and it was the Bullet Club. So that's El Phantasmo, Chris Bay, and Hikuleo versus Chris Sabin and FinJuice, and that's David Finlay and Juice Robinson. And so yeah, man. So Bay and Sabin, they used their speed against each other, and Juice Robinson was addressed as Macho Man Randy Savage. How ironic! I got a Macho Man Randy Savage shirt on right now. And so yeah, man. Oh yeah, another thing about Juice Robinson, man. Congratulations, man. Congratulations to Juice Robinson. Got engaged. Got engaged to Tony Storm. Got engaged to Tony Storm. So congratulations to him. Lucky man is Juice Robinson. So yeah, man. So yeah, at one point, man, we had Finlay. He was on a top rope. He was going for like a top rope move, but he almost lost his balance. But he did still manage to hit the move anyways on Phantasmo. And so Juice Robinson, he started hitting his jabs on Chris Bay and Phantasmo. And then Bay and Phantasmo, they took out Juice. And then Hikuleo, he teased a top rope move. He went to the top rope, teasing a top rope move or a diving move, but he faked it. And so yeah, man. So we had a hot tag to Finlay. He took out the Bullet Club, and we had a big boot to Finlay from Hikuleo, and then Finlay hit the Irish Curse backbreaker to Bay, which was brutal, man. Looked like it was brutal. And so yeah, man. So yeah, man. So we had a double diving crossbody to Chris Bay and Phantasmo from Sabin, and then we had a triple outside dive. So triple outside dives on the Bullet Club from the Faces, and so we had a Macho Juice chant. So that was nice. And so we had a face buster. We had a face buster to Bay from Sabin, and Phantasmo and Hikuleo, they broke up the pin. And then we had a choke slam to Sabin from Hikuleo, and we had a splash to Sabin from Phantasmo, and he kicks out. And so at that point, everybody was fighting outside the ring. And then Chris Sabin, he tried to go for his finishing move, the cradle shock, and he tried to hit it on Chris Bay, but Hikuleo, he distracted the referee with a chair, so he was on a ring apron holding a chair. And so from behind, man, behind the referee's back, you had Phantasmo. Yeah, Phantasmo, he gave Chris Sabin a low blow. So he punched him right in his nuts. And so, yeah, punched him. And then that was it. And then Chris Bay, he had his finishing move, the finesse, that springboard cutter to Sabin from Chris Bay to win the match. So the Bullet Club wins the match. So yeah, man, really good match, man, really good match. And the Good Brothers, they were watching this match, and on commentary they were saying that whoever can win this match, they could be potentially #1 contenders for the Impact World Tag Team titles. And I think they are fighting at Bound for Glory, so that should be really cool, man. We can finally see the Elite versus the Bullet Club, because that's what everybody's talking about. That is what everybody is talking about with this Forbidden Door storyline. You know, people want to see the Bullet Club show up on Dynamite, so we can have this Elite Bullet Club feud. Yeah, man. And now we're getting a glimpse of it. We're getting a glimpse of it at Bound for Glory, and I think it's gonna continue. It's gonna continue to happen. Like right after the tag team match, whoever wins, the feud is still gonna happen. It's gonna bleed from Impact Wrestling, and it's gonna bleed into AEW Dynamite. So yeah, man, I cannot wait, man. Cannot wait. Should be really good. And so yeah, man. So yeah, so that was it with that. And so right after that, man, we had Gia Miller. She was backstage. She interviewed Josh Alexander, the walking weapon, Josh Alexander. And so yeah, so Gia Miller, she asked Josh Alexander about the tag team match that they had later on tonight. The tag team match, Christian Cage and Josh Alexander versus Madman Fulton and Ace Austin. And so Alexander, he says that there's an issue between the two. And you know, Cage, he has experience in tag teams, and you know, but you know, there's an issue between me and Christian Cage. And so Alexander, he said that he is the wild card. And Alexander, he said that he will take care of Ace Austin and Madman Fulton. And while he's doing that, you know, he's going to make sure that Cage sees what, you know, sees it, because that's going to be firsthand. So, yeah, whatever Josh Alexander does to Madman Fulton and Ace Austin is the same thing. It's the same thing that Josh Alexander is going to do to Cage on Bound for Glory. Or at Bound for Glory, rather. And so, yeah, man, so that was pretty much it with that. So that was the main event that night. And so, yeah, man, so right after that, man, we had Heath, or Heath Slater, Heath Miller, whatever you want to call him, man. Heath Slater, man, he needs a last name, bro. Like Heath. Heath who? What's his last name? But yeah, he needs a last name. Like Heath, I can't, dude. I gotta call him Heath Slater. But yeah, man, so Heath Slater, he came out, he spoke, and we had a welcome back chant from the crowd. And so he grabbed the microphone and said that he's been out for a year, And so Heath, he had said that last year he was close. He was close to signing a contract, but it was taken away from him. And so Heath Slater, he mentioned his family, his kids. I thought he had like 7 kids, but he said he has 2 daughters. And so the crowd started chanting, "He's got kids. He got kids." And so yeah, man. So he said that he's never gotten a response from Rhino. Because Rhino, he had walked out last week on both Heath Slater and Violent by Design. And so yeah, so he chose no sides. And so yeah, Heath said that he never gotten a response from Rhino. He never gotten a phone call, no text messages, nothing. And so yeah, man. So Heath, he had said that Violent by Design had brainwashed Rhino and it pissed him off. And so yeah, so he was mad that Violent by Design had brainwashed his friend. And so yeah, so Heath, he calls out Rhino to the ring like he wants to talk to his friend. He wants to talk to Rhino. And so instead we had Violent by Design. Their theme music had played. And so Violent by Design came out. So that's Eric Young, Joe Doring, and Diener. They came out. And so Young, he had told Heath Slater, like, hey, man, the Rhino that you know is dead. He's dead and buried. He's gone. And so, yeah, Young, he said that he's gotten rid of the old Rhino that you once knew. And he made a better Rhino. He made a stronger Rhino. And so Young, he has said that he speaks for Rhino. He speaks for Rhino, not you, Heath. Me, I speak for Rhino. And so, yeah, Young, he has said that Rhino belongs to him. And then Young, he had told Heath Slater to leave the ring, and never come back. Never come back to Impact. And so Heath has said that he doesn't lay his head down for nobody. So that's a no. So he doesn't want to leave. And so, yeah, man. So Young continued to threaten Heath Slater. And so Heath Slater continuing to say hell no. And so, yeah, so Heath Slater, he took out, or he attacked Violent by Design, but he was quickly taken out by Violent by Design. And so the crowd started chanting, "We want Rhino, we want Rhino." And so Violent by Design kept egging on the crowd like Rhino is not coming out here. He's not coming. He's gone. And so, yeah, so Violent by Design, they continue to beat up Slater and, give him them gut shots and all that stuff. And so, yeah, Young, he had grabbed the Violent by Design flag and he broke the flag over Heath. And so, yeah, so Young, he put the flag, he buried Heath Slater he buried him with the flag. So Heath Slater was underneath the flag. So that was pretty much it with that, man. Great stuff, man. Great stuff. I am enjoying this stuff right now. I really am. Like with Rhino, like where does he play? Where does his loyalty lie? Is he Violent by Design, or is he with Heath Slater, or is he gonna be with his friend Heath Slater? But yeah, man, great stuff. Great promo, man, from Heath Slater, man. He hasn't looked better in a while. But yeah, Rhino, where does his loyalty lie? Where does his loyalty lay? Is he on Violent by Design, or is he with Slater or Heath? But yeah, man, great stuff, man. Great stuff. But yeah, I said this over and over and over again. They never shouldn't have got rid of Rhino from Violent by Design. I thought he made Violent by Design stronger. Thought he was a great addition to the group. And yeah, he made him stronger. That's it. That's just about it. They won the tag team championships because Rhino was added to the group. You know? Yeah. So yeah, Rhino was a great addition. I don't know why they took him away from him. But yeah. That was pretty much it with that, man. And so right after that, man, we had Gia Miller. She interviews Willie Mack and Rich Swann. So yeah, so Willie Mack, he was talking about the X Division qualifier match because he's in there. And so yeah, man, so we had Manny Lemons and Zicky Dice from the Learning Tree, from Brian Myers' Learning Tree. They interrupted the interview and they said that they're better than Rich Swann and Willie Mack and all that stuff. And so Swann, they said, if you're better than us, then how about we challenge you to a match, a tag team match tonight? And so yeah, so they accepted the match and they both walked away. And so Dice and Lemons, they went to Brian Myers, VSK, and Sam Bill, and they talked about their tag team match. They have a tag team match with Swann and Willie Mack, and they were confident. They was like, hey man, we're gonna beat these guys. And so Myers, he told Lemons and Dice, like, what makes you think that you're gonna beat them right after they beat us last week, right after they beat me and VSK last week? What makes you think that you guys have a iota of a chance on beating Willie Mack and Rich Swann? And so yeah, so they started clowning these guys. And so yeah, so Dice and Lemons, they wanted Brian Myers, the most professional wrestler, to accompany them, to be at ringside. And so Myers, he had said no. And so Myers, VSK, and Bill, they walked away. And that was pretty much it with that, man. That was pretty much it. And so yeah, man. So right after that, man, we had Kimberly, Brandi Lauren, and Lady Frost versus Tasha Steelz, Savannah Evans, and Mercedes Martinez. So yeah, so these women they will be competing in the knockouts knockdown tournament. So yeah, so we have some of the competitors in the tournament competing tonight. And so yeah, man, I would have much rather saved them for the pay-per-view, man. But yeah, because none of these people can lose or can afford to lose. But yeah, man. So yeah, so first off, man, we had Lauren. She bit Evans, and then we had a big boot to Lauren from Evans, and then the heels took control of the match. The heels. It was pretty much a heel versus heel match. Kimberly and Lauren are heels because they were Su Young. So and Lady Frost, I'm assuming is a baby face. But yeah, whatever you want to say, heels. They took control of the match, and then we had a PK kick to Lauren from Steelz, and then Steelz at one point she did not want to tag in Martinez, and so Martinez was upset, and so yeah, we had a hot tag to Lee. She took out Steelz, and then Evans took out Frost and Kimberly, and then we had a double underhook suplex to Lauren from Martinez, and so yeah, Martinez tried to go for the cover, but she didn't know that she was the illegal person. And so yeah, so Martinez thought she was legal. She thought she was the legal person, but she wasn't the legal person. So the referee told her to get out of the ring. And so yeah, man, yeah. So yeah, still she had rolled up Lee. So she had stole Martinez's pin, and that was it, man. That was it. So yeah, Martinez she did not like that, and yeah, so therefore Tasha Steelz, Savannah Evans, and Mercedes Martinez wins the match. And so right after the match, we had Alicia Edwards. She came out with a kendo stick. She calls it Kendra, and she took out Kimberly and Brandi Lauren with the kendo stick. So she attacked them with the kendo stick, and so the security guards had to carry her out of there. They carried her away from ringside, and that was pretty much it, man. That was pretty much it. Really, really wasn't much to the match. Just like what I said, I would have just saved them for the pay-per-view, man, because none of these women can afford to lose when they're competing on a pay-per-view on Saturday at a tournament. So I think every person should look strong in a tournament, whether they're gonna win or lose in the tournament. They should still look strong. But yeah, man, great seeing Mercedes Martinez, man. Great seeing Mercedes Martinez. She was released from the WWE in that in those groups of people that got released, those 12 or 13 people that got released months and months and months ago. So yeah, it was great seeing Mercedes Martinez, and I think she will win that tournament. I think she is gonna win that tournament. But yeah, man. So yeah, so that was pretty much it with that, man. And so right after that, man, we had a flashback from Genesis 2013. So it's an Impact pay-per-view, Genesis 2013, and we had James Storm and Christopher Daniels. James Storm versus Christopher Daniels, and Daniels he beat James Storm. And so yeah, man. So they showed that to hype up Christopher Daniels, his return to Impact. And so yeah, man. So right after that, we had Alisha Edwards. She was backstage and she was angry. She was upset, and she was still throwing a temper tantrum from earlier when she took out Kimberly and Brandi Lauren, and she was upset that Kimberly took out one of the Swingerellas. And so yeah, so Gail Kim she came in, she tried to calm down Alisha Edwards, and so Gail Kim she made a match. She made a match, because Alicia she said that she wants Kimberly, and so Gail she said, okay, you're gonna get Kimberly, but not only are you gonna get Kimberly, you gotta get Jordynne Grace, Savannah Evans. So it's gonna be a four-way. It's gonna be a four-way. It's gonna be a Monsters Ball. So they're calling it the Monsters Ball in honor of Daphne, the late great Daphne. And so the match is gonna be Jordynne Grace, Alicia Edwards, Kimberly, and Savannah Evans in a Monsters Ball match. So this is to honor Daphne, who recently passed away. It's gonna be a Knockouts Knockdown. So Knockouts Knockdown, and so yeah, man. So right after that, man, we had the Influence. They're backstage, and they did their talk show. So that's Tenille, Dashwood, Madison, Rayne, and Kaleb with a K. So they're the Influence. And so yeah, so Tenille, Dashwood, and Madison Rayne, they were talking about their upcoming title match against the K for the Knockouts Championship or the Knockouts Tag Team Championships at Knockouts Knockdown. And so the K they interrupted and took over the show, and Tenille at one point she tried to talk, but she was censored and all that stuff. And so the K they scared off the Influence out of their room, and so that was pretty much it with that. And so yeah, I really don't care about that talk show. I really don't. But yeah, man, that was it with that, man. And so right after that, man, we had Moose. We had Moose and W. Morrissey. They were backstage. They talked. And so Moose and Morrissey, they were bragging about taking out Sami Callihan and Eddie Edwards. And so Moose, he said that, your heroes, they get sent to the hospitals. They get sent to the hospital. And so Morrissey, he said that ever since he came to Impact Wrestling, it's never been about friendships. He didn't come here to make any friends. And so he says that, the partnership that you see between me and Moose, this is an alliance. This is an alliance. And so Moose, he talked about the Call Your Shot Gauntlet match that's going to be at Bound for Glory. And they inserted themselves in the match. So Moose and W. Morrissey did. And so Moose, he said that when they're the last ones left in this gauntlet match, Moose, he said that he's going to kick W. Morrissey's ass, because he knows that Morrissey's going to do the same thing. He's going to try to do the same thing. And so Morrissey says, "You're damn right I am." And so that was it. And so, yeah, so that's at Bound for Glory. And so, yeah, right after that, man, we had the Triple Threat X Division qualifier match. And so it was Black Taurus versus Steve Maclin versus Petey Williams. So, yeah, man, this was good, man. Really good stuff. So, yeah, we had Maclin. He went right after Williams and Taurus. And so Taurus, he took out Maclin. And then we had a Tope Torpedo. A Tope Torpedo. I think that's what it's called. A Tope Torpedo to Maclin from Taurus, man. Taurus is freaking impressive, man. Really is. A guy his size moving around like a cruiserweight. Really impressive stuff. And so, yeah, man, we had a over the top rope Rana to Maclin from Williams. And then we had an angle slam to Williams from Maclin. And so, yeah, man, we had Maclin. He muscled up Taurus and hit a spinning suplex. So that was cool, man. And so, yeah, man, we had an Irish Curse backbreaker to Williams from Maclin. And then Taurus, he took out Maclin. We had a snap power slam to Maclin from Taurus. And then we had a German suplex to Maclin from Williams, followed up by a running knee. And so all three of these guys, they were trading strikes. And so we had a DDT counter to Maclin from Williams. And so we had a springboard codebreaker to Taurus from Williams. And then Taurus, at one point, Maclin, he had Petey Williams in a fireman's carry position. And so Taurus, he came out of nowhere and speared Maclin. And so we had Petey Williams, he had his Canadian Destroyer to Taurus. And so, yeah, man. And so the end of the match, man, we had Steve Maclin, he had his finishing move that made him for all to Williams to win the match. So Steve Maclin wins the match and will go on to Bound for Glory. He'll be competing for the X Division Championship, the vacated X Division Championship. So, yeah, man. So we have Trey Miguel and we have Steve Maclin, man. So, yeah. So, yeah, man. Really, really good, man. Should be really good. I don't know who should win. I don't know who will win, but these guys, they deserve the X Division title, especially Trey Miguel. Steve Maclin, too, because he's been on a rampage, so I'll probably give the title to him, too. But, yeah, both of these guys deserve titles. I think another person getting added to that match, too, I think they mentioned, but I thought it was a one-on-one match. But, yeah. So, yeah, so that was it with that, man. That was it. And so right after that, man, we had a backstage segment from Gia Miller. So she interviewed Christian Cage, the Impact World Champion. And so, yeah, man. So Cage, he said that Alexander is not in his realm. And Cage, once again, telling Josh Alexander to keep his emotions in check. And so we had Christopher Daniels. Christopher Daniels showed up with his red eye, his darkened eye. And so, yeah, Christopher Daniels, he looked cool, man. He looked cool with that eye, his damaged eye, his bleeding eye. Look really cool. It's like it's black, and it has like a red contact in it, like it's bleeding. Really, really cool, man. And so, yeah, man. So Daniels, he said that he wants a title opportunity. He wants a title opportunity at Cage's Impact World Championship. And so Daniels, he says, it could be anytime. It could be anytime, anywhere, any place. It could be here in Impact. It could be in AEW. And, anywhere. I just want you to think about it. And so, yeah. So that was it with that. So, yeah. So Christopher Daniels, yes, he has won his match, but you got to get more wins than that, man. You got to get more wins to get a championship title opportunity. But, yeah, man. But Madman Fulton, he beat Madman Fulton last week, so that's a great start. But you got to get more wins than that. But, yeah, man. So that was it with that. And so right after that, we had the Swingers Palace. And so, yeah, Johnny Swinger, Hernandez, and the Swingerellas, they were packing up their stuff because they got shut down. And, Falaba came in and he was making fun of the fact that they got shut down. And so, and you know, Fall was shoving it in their face and all that stuff, saying I bought all that stuff. I see boxes, stuff in those boxes that I bought. And so yeah, man. And so they try to ban Fall from the Swingers Palace, and Fall was like, "You can't ban me. Like it's shut down. The place is shut down, so you can't ban me." And so yeah, and so Fall he said that they gotten what they deserved for all the times that they mistreated Fall. They finally got what they deserved. And so yeah, man. And so yeah, man. So that was it with that. And so right after that, we had the Learning Tree. We had Manny Lemons and Zicky Dice from the Learning Tree. Brian Myers' Learning Tree versus Rich Swann and Willie Mack. Man, this is a glorified squash match. So yeah, man. So Lemons and Dice, they took out Swann and Mack from behind while they were making their entrance. And so we had a double team move to Dice, so they fought back. And so Mack at one point he hit Lemons with chops, and so he squeezed Lemons' nipples. And so the crowd started chanting "Squeeze the lemons." They started chanting "Squeeze the lemons." But yeah, man. So yeah, we had kicks to Dice from Swann, and we had an assisted dive and neckbreaker to Lemons to win the match. So Rich Swann and Willie Mack wins the match. And so right after the match, we had Myers, VSK, and Sam Bill. They took out Swann and Willie Mack. And so yeah, Myers hit the roster cut on Mack, and then VSK hit a version of the 1916, so shades of Finn Balor right there on Swann from VSK. And so yeah, Brian Myers and the Learning Tree, they stood tall, and that was it with that, man. That was pretty much it. And yeah, just like what I said before, this is a glorified squash match, And yeah, I would love to see what's gonna happen next with the Learning Tree. And so right after that, man, we had Gia Miller. She was standing outside the Impact Wrestling executive boardroom. And so yeah, and so Mickie James, she came from behind. She came in. She went through the executive boardroom, and she took out Deonna Purrazzo. So she attacked Deonna Purrazzo. And so Scott D'Amore and Gail Kim, they were in there, and so they broke up the fight. And so Scott had told both of these ladies, like, hey, there's gonna be a no contact clause between now and until Bound for Glory. And so Scott, he says, Mickie, if you touch Deonna Purrazzo, you'll lose your title opportunity. And so Deonna Purrazzo, she laughed. And so Scott, he told Purrazzo, like, you think it's funny? Because if you touch Mickie James, then you will be stripped of your championship. And so, yeah. And so, yeah, Gail Kim, she made a pick your poison match between Deonna Purrazzo and Mickie James. So they got to pick each other's opponents. And so, yeah, so Mickie James will pick Deonna Purrazzo's opponent for Knockouts Knockdown. So that's where Purrazzo's Pick Your Poison match starts. And so Mickie James will happen at another time. But yeah, and so yeah, Purrazzo did not like that. She did not like that idea. She was pissed, man. She was pissed. And so yeah, and Purrazzo, she said that there's a conspiracy. There's a conspiracy against me. Who is she? Sami Zayn? But yeah, that was it with that, man. That was it. Who will our first opponent be? I don't know. I don't know who will it be. Who exactly will Mickie James choose as Deonna Purrazzo's opponent, and who will Purrazzo choose as Mickie James' opponent? But yeah, man. That was it with that, man. Now before we get into the main event, man, let's talk about. Well, we don't have anything lined up for next week's show. So yeah, we have the knockouts. We have the knockouts knockdown this Saturday, and yeah, that's pretty much it. And yeah, Bound for Glory is on Saturday, October the 23rd. So that's not next Saturday, but the Saturday after that. But yeah, and yeah, that's pretty much it. And I'm gonna talk about the knockouts knockdown match card after the main event when I make the prediction. So yeah, man. So yeah, now we had the main event. The main event, it was Ace Austin and Madman Fulton versus Josh Alexander and Christian Cage, who is the Impact World Champion. So yeah, man. So Fulton, he used his power against Cage, and then Cage fought back. We had double clotheslines to Alexander and Cage from Fulton, and then Alexander and Austin, they were trading strikes, and the heels took control of the match. We had a reverse DDT to Austin from Cage. And then we had a spear in midair to Austin from Cage. And we had a hot tag to Alexander. He took out Fulton. We had German suplexes to Austin from Alexander. And we had a diving enziguri to Alexander from Austin. And then Cage, at one point, he knocked Austin off of the top rope. And, everybody was going back and forth. And we had a blind tag from Cage. And, Josh Alexander didn't know that. How he didn't know that. Cage touched him. So he should have felt it. But yeah. So yeah. And then Alexander hit like a rolling German suplex to Austin. And then, Josh thought he was still the legal person. And so Cage, he hit the kill switch on Austin to win the match. So Cage, he shrugged off his shoulders like, hey man, it's my pin. It's my pin. And so yeah, Alexander, he did not like that. He did not like that Christian stole his spotlight. He stole his thunder. He stole his win. So yeah, so Christian Cage and Josh Alexander, they won the match. And that was it, man. The match was good. And so yeah, man. Finally we can finally move away from this Austin and Fulton feud with Alexander and Cage. Not really a fan of champions and challengers teaming up. Like it's pointless. It serves no purpose. Like, why are you teaming up with your opponent? That's what I don't understand. What was the point? What was the point of teaming these guys up together? What was the point of doing it? If I'm a champion, or a challenger, I am not teaming up with my opponent. That is the last thing I'm doing, is teaming up with my opponent. Why in the hell would you team up with your opponent? Why would you do that? But yeah, I never did understood those stuff. I never did understood the champions and challengers teaming up against somebody else. Like, dude, what's the point of it? What is the whole point of it? But yeah, man. That was it with that, man. That was pretty much it. And yeah, man. Great match overall. But yeah, still not a fan of champions and challengers teaming up when they have a championship match at Bound for Glory. But yeah, man. So yeah, so that was it. That was it with the main event. And yeah, then that was it with Impact Wrestling, man. That was it with Impact Wrestling. Show was fine. It was decent. Nothing new. Same old. Building up for Bound for Glory. And we had the Knockouts Knockdown this Saturday. And yeah. So yeah, speaking of Knockouts Knockdown, let's talk about the match card and my prediction on the Knockouts Knockdown. So yeah, so Knockouts Knockdown is on Saturday, this coming Saturday. And so yeah, man, so the matches that were announced, so we have the Knockouts Tag Team Championship match. So we have Decay, that's Havoc and Rosemary with Black Taurus and Crazy Steve in their corner, versus The Influence. So that's Madison, Rayne, and Tenille Dashwood with Kaleb with a K in their corner. So yeah, I'm going with The Influence to win the match. I'm going with The Influence to win the tag team titles, because why else would you team them up? And so yeah, and Decay right now, they're not doing anything with the titles. So best guess, take the titles off of them and put them on The Influence. So yeah, that's my pick. And also we have the Monsters Ball match. So we have Savannah Evans versus Kimberly versus Alisha Edwards versus Jordynne Grace. I don't know about this one. If I had to choose, what does the winner get though? What does the winner get? That's what I want to know. But yeah, it's either Jordynne Grace or Savannah Evans. I'm gonna go with Jordynne Grace. I'm going with Jordynne Grace to win. But I think they might be going with Savannah Evans. They might go with Savannah Evans, but if I had to pick, I'm going with Jordynne Grace. So yeah, and also we have a Pick Your Poison match. So this is Deonna Purrazzo's Pick Your Poison match. So Mickie James did pick Deonna Purrazzo's opponent, and whoever her opponent is gonna lose, because Deonna Purrazzo is not losing. So Deonna Purrazzo is my pick to win the match. And yeah, man. And also we have the tournament. We have the Knockouts Knockdown tournament. And the winner of the tournament will have a future Knockouts Championship match. And so yeah, man. So in the first round we have Tasha Steelz versus Jamie Senegal. And we have Chelsea Green versus Renee Michelle, who is the wife of Drake Maverick. And so we have Lady Frost versus Rachel Ellering, and we have Brandi Lauren versus Mercedes Martinez. So yeah, man. So Tasha Steelz versus Jamie Senegal. I'm going with Tasha Steelz to advance to the next round. Chelsea Green versus Renee Michelle. I'm going with Chelsea Green to advance to the next round. So it's gonna be Tasha Steelz versus Chelsea Green. Lady Frost versus Rachel Ellering. I'm going with Rachel Ellering to advance. We have Brandi Lauren versus Mercedes Martinez. I'm going with Mercedes Martinez to advance to the next round. So now we have Tasha Steelz versus Chelsea Green, I'm going with Tasha Steelz to go to the finals. And then we have Lady Frost, not Lady Frost. We have Rachel Ellering versus Mercedes Martinez. I'm going with Mercedes Martinez to go to the finals. And so yeah, man. So it's gonna be Tasha Steelz versus Mercedes Martinez in the finals. And yeah, that's the way I'll go. That's the way I'll go because they had a problem. They had a problem after their match. Tasha Steelz still in Mercedes Martinez spotlight, her moment, her pinfall win. And yeah, so I think it's gonna play up to the finals. So they're gonna end up making it to the finals. And to win the finals, to win the tournament. I'm going with Mercedes Martinez to win the tournament. Going with her to win the tournament. And yeah, she's gonna go after Deonna Purrazzo. And yeah, and she's gonna. I don't think she's gonna beat Purrazzo. I don't think she is. But yeah, I'll have Mercedes Martinez win the whole tournament. Have Tasha Steelz and Mercedes Martinez in the finals, and have Mercedes Martinez win the match, the tournament. So yeah, man. So that was it with my predictions for Knockouts Knockdown. That's this Saturday. So yeah, man. And if you like this video, man, what are you waiting for, man? Hit the thumbs up. Hit the thumbs up. And if you're new to the channel, if you're watching D Ryan Awesome Show for the first time ever, hit that subscribe button. And then right next to that subscribe button, there's a bell. Make sure you click on that bell so you're the first ones to know when my next video is uploaded, because I'm here every single week, man. Wednesdays for AEW Dynamite, Thursdays for Impact Wrestling, of course, Fridays for AEW Rampage, of course, and Saturdays and Sundays are for WWE, AEW, and Impact Wrestling pay-per-views. So I'm there. I'll see you guys then. And yeah, man, thank you once again for the support, the love and the support for the show. And yeah, man, thank you. Comment down below. Tell me how you felt about the shows, AEW Rampage and Impact Wrestling. And yeah, man. And yeah. And I'll see you guys for tonight. I'll see you guys tonight for AEW Rampage. Or hell, I'll see you guys right now. I'll see you guys right now for AEW Rampage. So here we go. Now I'll see you guys for AEW Rampage for October the 8th, 2021. Right now. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, this is the second half of the Ryan Awesome Show. And tonight we'll be talking about AEW Rampage for October the 8th, 2021. So earlier in the first half, I'll talk about Impact Wrestling for October the 7th. So right now, I'm talking about AEW Rampage for October the 8th, 2021. And so yeah, man, overall, man, really good show. I enjoyed the show. I thought it flowed really nicely. We had some great matches on the show. The AEW Tag Team Championship match was really good with the Acclaim versus the Lucha Bros. The opening match with Punk and Danny Garcia in the main event, that Philly Street Fight, was really fun. But yeah, man, the show just flew by. It flew by really quickly, and it was fun to watch. And so yeah, man. So yeah, so this is the second half of the Ryan Awesome Show for AEW Rampage. So this is the AEW Rampage review. And just like what I said earlier I did the Impact Wrestling review. So now this is the AEW Rampage review. And yeah, man, I said this over and over and over again. Hit the thumbs up, man, if you haven't done this already. And hit that subscribe button if you're new here, if you're new to the Ryan Awesome Show. And right next to that subscribe button, man, that's a bell. Make sure you click on that bell so you're the first ones to know when my next video is uploaded, because I am here every single week, man. Wednesdays for AEW Dynamite, Thursdays for Impact Wrestling, and Fridays for AEW Rampage, of course. And Saturdays and Sundays are for WWE, AEW, and Impact Wrestling pay-per-views. And so yeah, man. So tonight we were live in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. So we were live in Philly once again. And yeah, man. So first off, we started off the show. So we had Mark Henry, the world's strongest man. Mark Henry interviews CM Punk and Daniel Garcia with 2.0 in his corner, Matt Lee and Jeff Parker. So yeah, man, split screen. So he interviewed him split screen.
Daniel Garcia, you and 2.0, y'all attacked CM Punk in Chicago. In Chicago.
Chicago,
Why?
man. Why?
Because he's a phony, Mark. Voice of the voiceless, my ass. He's a little sad boy.
Hey, let's cut the crap, Punk. See, 7 years ago, you took your ball and you went home. Now, you can paint whatever reason to it you want. You can fool everyone else, but not us, because we know that you quit because the world stopped revolving around CM Punk.
But now you're happy because it's all about you again, right? But what would you have done if you were me? What would 23-year-old CM Punk have done in my position? This reunion tour, this love fest has been fun, but I put an end to it tonight.
Punk, you came back to the world of wrestling. And most importantly, you came to AEW. The world is buzzing. Tell us, what is your approach in this match with Daniel Garcia tonight?
Mark, I didn't come back to the world of wrestling. The world of wrestling came back to me.
Yeah.
And 23-year-old Punk wouldn't be hanging out with the Nasty Boys' little brothers. So, thankfully, Daniel Garcia, I'm not going to judge you based on that. I'm going to judge you based on your wrestling ability, and that's exactly why I'm going to get in the ring with you tonight, and I'm going to beat you. So you can find out what it feels like to be on the other end of a beating. Try to jump me in Chicago, I'm going to end it in Philadelphia.
Ooh.
Well, we've had enough talk. Let's go straight to the ring.
Yep. So that was it with the interview. So yeah, man. So our opening match, it was CM Punk versus Daniel Garcia with 2.0 in his corner. So that's Matt Lee and Jeff Parker. So yeah, so Punk, man, he went right back to the long tights. He went back to the longer tights. And so yeah, so both of these guys, this is a great match, by the way, man. Awesome match, wrestling match, a flat out wrestling match. And yeah, so yeah, both of these guys, they try to out wrestle each other. And then Punk, he got the better of it. And then Garcia, he went right after Punk's back at one point. And then Punk, he tried to hit the GTS on Garcia. But 2.0 had distracted the referee. And then they ended up attacking Punk outside the ring behind the referee's back. And so, yeah, man. So Garcia, he took control of the match during a commercial break. Picture-in-picture, of course. And so Garcia, he went right after Punk's leg. So that was the focus of the match. And so at one point, man, we had Danny Garcia. He went for a corner dropkick, but he missed. Punk had moved out of the way. And Garcia, he landed on the back of his neck, man. That was a nasty landing for Garcia, bro. And so, yeah, man. So Punk hit a knee strike to Garcia. And then both of these guys, they were trading strikes. And then we had a roundhouse kick to Garcia. And then he hit a leg lariat to Garcia, followed up by a swinging neck breaker. And then Garcia hit an angle slam to Punk, and Punk kicked out. And so Punk hit the Pepsi twist to Garcia, and Garcia kicks out. And so, yeah, man, Garcia, he had locked in a sharpshooter to Punk, and he grabbed the rope he grabbed the rope first, and then Garcia had dragged him into the middle of the ring. And so Punk, he kicked Garcia into one of the 2.0 guys, and so Garcia, he accidentally ran into the other 2.0 guy. And so, yeah, man. And yeah, and then Punk, he had dove onto Danny Garcia and 2.0 outside the ring to take out 2.0. And so we had a "This is awesome" chant. So that, yeah, of course it was, man. And so, yeah, man, we had a springboard clothesline to Garcia. And so Punk, he had a power driver, man. A power driver to Garcia. Absolutely brutal, man. When the last time you seen Punk hit a power driver, man? The first time I ever saw him hit a power driver. And so to end the match, bro, we had Punk, he had locked in the Anaconda Vice, his submission move to Garcia to win the match. So therefore, Garcia, he taps out, and Punk wins the match. CM Punk wins the match. And yeah, man, as I said before, man, awesome match. Great back and forth. Flat out wrestling match. Both of these guys look great. And yeah, Garcia looked great. And, you know, I said this over and over and over again, bro. Every person that Punk step in the ring with, his opponent looks better. His opponent always come out better. You know, even though Garcia lost tonight, he still won. He still won. Even though he lost, he still won. Because you're in the ring with CM Punk, bro. And CM Punk, he makes all his opponents look good. And it's going to continue to happen. You know, it happened with Darby Allin, Will Hobbs, and now Danny Garcia. So, yeah, man. And then another thing, man, I love the fact that he didn't use the GTS. He didn't have to depend on the GTS. I like the fact that he used the Anaconda Vice. It's always great for a wrestler to have like two finishing holds or two finishing moves in case they kick out of your finishing move. You have something else up your sleeve. You know, always great to have two finishing moves. And so, yeah, man, so that was it with the match, man. Really great match, man, to start off the show. And so, yeah, man, so right after that, man, we had Tony Schiavone. He was backstage. He interviewed Dante Martin, Matt Sydal, and Lio Rush. So Schiavone, he had asked about the partnership between Rush and Dante. And so Sydal, he doesn't trust Lio Rush. And so Sydal he called Rush a junk bond salesman. And so Rush, he had said that, what he and Dante has is real. What they have is real, and what he's selling to Dante is real. And so Rush, he has said that Sydal is the only person in this group that needs to prove his value. And so Rush, he said that he's going to get Sydal a match with CM Punk next week on Rampage. And so Sydal, he has said, if you can give me the match, then I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you that I'm the type of investment that makes money, that transcends money. And so Sydal, he has said that he makes moments, and when he steps foot inside the ring with CM Punk, he's going to have a moment with CM Punk. And so, yeah, so that was pretty much it with that. And so, yeah, it was made official. Next week is going to be CM Punk versus Matt Sydal, so that should be really good, bro. And so, yeah, man, so that was it with that. And so right after that, man, we had the AEW World Tag Team Championship match. And so it was The Acclaim, that's Max Caster and Anthony Bowens versus the Lucha Bros, who are the AEW World Tag Team Champions and the AAA Tag Team Champions. So that's Pentagon and Rey Fenix with Alex Abrahantes in their corner. And so The Acclaim, they took out the Lucha Bros at the start. And, when they were turned around, they took out the Lucha Bros. And so, yeah, man, the Lucha Bros, they fought back, and we had stereo super kicks to The Acclaim. And then Bowens, he had hit Phoenix with the boombox in midair. And, the referee didn't see it. And so, yeah, we had The Acclaim. They took control of the match. And then we had a "This is awesome" chant, early in the match. So that was really cool. And so, yeah, man, we had a pop-up. We had a pop-up into a DDT to Caster from Penta. And so, yeah. And then we had a hot tag to Phoenix. He took out Bowens. And then Phoenix hit a corkscrew kick to Bowens. So that was really nice, man. And so we had a cutter to Bowens from Phoenix, and he kicks out. And we had a super kick party from everybody. So everybody was hitting each other with super kicks and all that stuff. And so we had a double cutter to The Acclaim from Phoenix. And then we had a rolling elbow to Phoenix from Bowens. And then Penta, he knocked Caster off the top rope at one point. And so we had a double stomp to Bowens. It looked like it was below the belt. And so we had to end the match, man, we had a double spike underhook DDT to Bowens to win the match. So the Lucha Bros wins the match and are still the AEW World Tag Team Champions, man. And yeah, man, really great match, bro. Love both of these teams. I really do. The Acclaim, one day they will be tag team champions, but now the AEW Tag Team Championships, I don't know about it. Now right now, maybe sometime later. But yeah. And the Lucha Bros, bro. The Lucha Bros. I can see the Lucha Bros going up against Santana and Ortiz for those titles, and I can see Santana and Ortiz taking those titles off of them. Just give them more opponents, have more tag teams line up to the Lucha Bros, and have the Lucha Bros go through all of them. But when they get to Santana and Ortiz, have Santana and Ortiz win the titles. So that way we'll have most of the Inner Circle will go. You have Sammy as the TNT champion, and you can have Santana and Ortiz as the tag team champions. So yeah, man. So that was pretty much it with that, and that's the way I'll go with the tag team titles. And so yeah, man. So right after that, man, we had Jade Cargill with Smart Mark Sterling in her corner versus Sky Blue. And so yeah, man. So Blue, she tried to get an early advantage on Cargill, and then we had a fallaway slam to Sky, and we had a pump kick to Sky, and then Sky fought back. And to end the match, we had Jade Cargill. She had a finishing move that Jaded to Sky to win the match. So Jade Cargill wins the match. Nothing more than a squash match. And so yeah, so after the match, Cargill, she attacked Sky Blue. And so Thunder Rosa, she came out to her theme music, and she came out running with a chair, and she chased off Jade Cargill. So that was pretty much it with that. And so yeah, man, so right after that, man, before we get into the main event, man, let's talk about next week's show. Let's talk about next week's Rampage and next week's Dynamite. And we have some more announcements for AEW too. So yeah, man. So yeah, for next week for AEW Rampage is gonna be CM Punk versus Matt Sydal. So he was able to get that match. And also we have Ruby Soho versus the Bunny. And we have the Inner Circle. And representing the Inner Circle, we have Chris Jericho, Sammy Guevara, the TNT champion, and Jake Hager versus the Men of the Year and Junior Dos Santos with Dan Lambert and Jorge Masvidal in their corner. So that's next week. And also for AEW Dynamite, it's going to be on a Saturday. Next week. So it's going to be Dante Martin versus Malachi Black. And also, man, we have a tag team championship match. So we have another tag team championship match next Saturday. And so it's going to be for the AAA. It's going to be for the AAA tag team championships. And so it's going to be the AAA and the AEW World Tag Team Champions, the Lucha Bros, Pentagon and Rey Fenix, versus a mass tag team that Andrade picked out. So Andrade picked out a mass tag team that will go after the Lucha Bros. So they're close personal friends to Andrade. And so that's next Saturday. So who will they be? Who are those mass people that Andrade is going to bring in? I don't know, but it should be really interesting. And also, man, we have Bryan Danielson versus Bobby Fish. So this should be really good, bro. Oh my God, the styles that they have, man, the wrestling styles will clash really well together. And also, man, we have a AEW World Title Eliminator match, a World Title Eliminator tournament. And so the bracket will be announced on Saturday, next Saturday on AEW Dynamite on next Saturday. And so, yeah, man, so that was pretty much it, man. That was pretty much it. So next week is looking really good, bro. Looking really good. It is looking really good. So, yeah, man, so right after that, man, we have Mark Henry once again. Mark Henry interviews Brian Cage, Ricky Starks, with Will Hobbs and Hook. So they were split screen.
Ricky Starks, you said that there is a huge gap between you and Brian Cage.
Yeah, and I've said it since day one, since I've been here, and I've proven it day in and day out. I'm telling you this, Brian, I'm going to whoop your ass, and when I do, I'm going to prove why I'm the absolute truth, my man.
Brian Cage, I guess this is your night to stick it to Team Taz.
Stick it to Team Taz, indeed, Mark. It's been a long time coming, and you haven't proven a damn thing, Ricky. What have you proven, huh? That you can hit me with the title, sneak out the back door, and duck me week after week after week after week? The absolute truth is tonight. Firsthand, once and for all, you'll find out. The answer, who better than Brian Cage, is nobody, especially not Ricky Starks.
So yeah, man, that was it with that. And yeah, man, let's go to the main event. Oh yeah, another thing, man, I like the T-shirt that Brian Cage was wearing. He was repping Chris Canyon. So yeah, man, nice T-shirt, bro. And so yeah, man. So now it's the main event. The main event, and it was for the FTW Championship, and it was a Philly street fight. So it was Brian Cage, the Machine Brian Cage, versus Ricky Starks, Absolute Ricky Starks, FTW Champion, my fellow Louisianian, Ricky Starks, FTW Champion. And so yeah, man. So Starks, he went right after. Well, he went for a chair, but Brian Cage, he stopped Starks from using the chair, and then Cage, he hit Starks with suplexes, a series of suplexes. And so we had chair shots to Starks, and then Cage, he threw Starks into the crowd, into somebody, so somebody actually got hit. And so yeah, man. So Cage, he threw Starks into the guardrail, and then Starks hit Cage with a pull cue, hit him with a pull cue. And he hit him with a pull cue like he was actually playing pool. So that was really cool. And so yeah, man. So yeah, we had a tornado DDT to Cage, and then Starks, he took control of the match during a commercial break, picture in picture, of course. And then Starks, he hit Cage with a trash can lid and a pipe. And then Starks, he punches Cage with a chain at one point. And then we had a leg drop. We had a leg drop to Cage on a trash can lid, and then he kicks out. And so yeah, man. So we had a super kick to Starks. So Cage was fighting back, and then we had a trash can to Starks. So Cage hit Starks with the trash can over the head, and we had a face buster. We had a face buster to Starks on the trash can. And so yeah, so Brian Cage was taking control of the match, and so Taz on commentary, he was losing his mind. So it was funny. It was funny. So yeah, so he yelled out, Send Hobbs, send Hobbs, send Hobbs. And you had Jericho on commentary as well, screaming, send out Hook, send out Hook, send out Hook. And so yeah, so both of these guys there are yelling at the same time. So that was funny, man. You know, a lot of people complain about Jericho's commentary on AEW Rampage, saying that he's too loud and all that stuff. Man, freaking Chris Jericho, man. Freaking Chris Jericho. What you gonna do? Like you gonna tell Chris Jericho what to do? You gonna tell him to pipe it down? No. Entertaining stuff, man. Jericho is phenomenal on commentary. Really great on commentary. So yeah, I don't know why people complaining about his commentary. But yeah, man. So yeah, so Hooky had came out, and then Will Hobbs came out, and so Hooky tried to take out Cage with the FTW Championship, but Cage had caught him with a clothesline that absolutely leveled this guy. And so yeah, man. So Cage, he took out Hobbs, and then Starks hit Cage with the FTW Championship, and then Starks had speared Cage on the pipe. So Cage, he landed right on that pipe, and so he kicked out. And I thought that was it, man. I thought that was it. And so Taz was losing his mind on commentary, and he couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. Everybody else couldn't believe it. And so yeah, so Starks, he accidentally ran into a chair that was in the corner, that was set up in the corner. And so yeah, man. And we had a discus clothesline to Starks, and then Hobbs, he had broke up the pin. And so yeah, man. So we had Hook from behind. He had gave Brian Cage a low blow. So yeah, so all this interferences, it was legal. It was legal because it's a street fight. And so yeah, so Hook had gave Cage a low blow from behind, and so we had Starks at one point, he was bleeding. And at the end of the match, man, we had a Rochambeau, his finishing move. Ricky Starks' finishing move, the Rochambeau to Brian Cage to win the match. So Ricky Starks wins the match, and is still the FTW champion. Really fun match, man. Really fun match. And for a prop of a championship, really great spot. Really great spot for the FTW championship to main event the show. To main event the show. And I think the reason why it was the main event was because it was originated. I think the FTW championship was originated in Philadelphia, or it became famous in Philadelphia. I think it came from Brooklyn, and it I guess made a bigger name for itself in Philadelphia. So I guess that's why they put it at the main event. But man, really great match, man. Really fun. And so yeah, man. And that was it. That was it with the main event, and that was it with AEW Rampage. Overall, really great, really good show, man. Great matches on the show. Tag team championship match, really good. The opening match with Punk and Garcia was really good. The Philly street fight was really good for the FTW championship. Overall, man, just a great show, man. Just a great show. And yeah, man, and that was it, man. That was it with AEW Rampage. And yeah, man, if you like this video, man, hit the thumbs up, man. Hit the thumbs up. And if you're new to the channel, if you're watching The Ryan Awesome Show for the first time ever, hit that subscribe button, and then right next to it, there's a bell. Make sure you click on that bell so you'll be the first ones to know when my next video is uploaded, because I am here every single week, man. Wednesdays for AEW Dynamite, Thursdays for Impact Wrestling, Fridays for AEW Rampage, of course, and Saturdays and Sundays are for WWE, AEW, and Impact Wrestling pay-per-views. So I'm there. And yeah, follow me on Twitter at Ryan Awesome Show. Follow me on Twitter at Ryan Awesome Show. And yeah, man, comment down below, man. Comment down below. Tell me how you felt about the episodes for Impact Wrestling for October the 7th, and tonight's show for AEW Rampage for October the 8th. And yeah, man, share this video, man, with each and every single person. And yeah, and once again, guys, thank you for the support. Thank you for the love and support for the show. And if you missed last week's review, or if you missed the Impact Wrestling review from last week, the video is going to be right up here. And if you missed last week's AEW Rampage review, the video is going to be right up here in this corner. And both of the links to these videos will be down below in the description, in the description. So make sure you click up here, or you can click down there in the description if you want to check it out. And yeah, man. And once again, guys, as always, thank you for the support. Thank you, and thank you. And I'll see you guys on Saturday, man. I'll see you guys on Saturday for Knockdown. That's on Saturday, so I'll see you guys then. And yeah, man. And yeah, and this has been The Ryan Awesome Show. Take care, stay safe, and don't forget to be awesome. And that's that.